most of the people, I ask people all the time, I go, where'd you catch your fish? And I think of the guys who catch trout, they almost always tell them, they'll say, this cove over here, I used this, I used, instead of the yellow, the chartreuse worm is kind of a good color also. But if you see, people heading back in, they're done fishing, maybe it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. A lot of people sometimes catch their limit in an hour and a half. These guys will be heading back in. Just ask them, hey, where'd you catch your fish? What'd you catch them on? Most of the trout guys are nice. Like I'm going to go 95%, something like that, are really nice. So just ask them what you did and what you caught it on. In the morning time, this shoreline, there's a beach right here. Can't cast into the beach. There's a kayak there's a kayak place over here. You can't cast into that. It says no fishing. It's a little easy to go. But right over here, there's a big pink house. This is all a good area here. You have your little maps there. Start fishing toward the homes. But if you're going to be fishing 3 people on a boat, 2 of you guys go toward the shoreline. The 3rd guy go deep. And a lot of the fish is going deeper now. The water's getting to be, this on the fish finder, 63 degrees, I think, on the surface. 64 maybe. So, and then something I remember old Ronnie Kovac used to say, that the fish are all, they're all hatchery fish, and they're raised in 3 or 4 feet of water. They're not raised in 10 feet of water. They're raised, shallow. So they're used to being in the shallow. So I would, again, I'd cast a little bit toward the docks here, start out that way, and then if you're watching people here, the tendency has been, there's always some fish along the docks, but then after 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, people are just turning around and going the other way. There seems to always be a nice hole right around here that people are catching fish in, a little deeper out there. This place here is called Sizzler Cove. If anybody, you're asking somebody and they say, where's Sizzler's Cove? And you go, say, you don't know where it is. It's the first big cove down here on your right. There used to be a Sizzler restaurant here on the corner. Since then, it's done about 10 different Mexican restaurants.
Is it Sizzler Cove?
It's called Sizzler Cove.
Sizzler Cove.
As you're leaving the dock, it's your first big cove on the right. But a lot of times, this is where you and I fished before, Dave.
Yeah.
You were down there.
Yeah.
So this is a good area. Early in the morning, I would try the shallows, close to the walls and so forth. This is all a bunkhead around here. But then a little later on, right out here, this is getting deeper. This is getting 30 and 40 feet deep. So this would be a good area I would try also. These 2 coves over here, I haven't ever done, haven't had too much success there. You don't too often see people fishing that.
Where's that again?
These are the 2, I don't even know what these 2 coves are called actually, but they're the first 2 coves on your left as you're going out. What do they call it?
Via La Vida and the
yeah. I wouldn't waste my time there unless you couldn't find fish anywhere else. This down here is called the spillway. And there's condos all along here. And so this spillway is pretty shallow, but in the middle there, it gets to about 20 feet deep in the middle there. There are some huge, like 6-foot, 8-foot cement pipes in there. You can easily see them. There's some big 10-foot tires in there. Sometimes this can be a nice spot. There's always a few fish in the corner. It's very, very shallow. And they're usually kind of small. But there's almost always fish in this side over here. This is the dam area down here. And right in this area up here is going to be good. There are a lot of buoys out here. There's some white buoys over here which are good. This is where they do the irrigation. Not irrigation, the
aeration refilling.
Aeration.
Aeration, thank you. And so sometimes this will be on, and there obviously will be bubbles coming up from here. And they don't want you to anchor, it says like not to anchor within 100 feet of this, because they don't want you to be smacking it. And you're usually going to be drifting this way, usually the wind's blowing this way here. But you can certainly float over it, or anchor on this side of it, you're fine, or anchor 50 feet away. You know, they hardly ever get in trouble like that. But you can pass into this area if the irrigation's going. You know, there are a lot of different birds there that sometimes are diving. There's these,
Cormorants.
yeah. And sometimes they're right on these buoys out here, so they're around, they usually fish around that area. So I guess early in the morning, before maybe 8 o'clock, I would fish the shallow areas. And after 8 o'clock, or maybe 9 o'clock, it's maybe a little more overcast, I would start to go a little deeper. So I think that's about everything I have. Anybody?
They like fly rods too. Fly rods do very well there.
I've seen a guy fly rod, and we were in the same area, and he was catching like 5 to my 1.
Right.
Local worm is real good. You know, cut a power worm or a
Night crawler.
night crawler in half. Thank you. Yep. Fill them up with air, dip them in some garlic. I caught a few nice trout that way. When some other things don't work, I'll go more to the live bait.
I don't know if Walmart down here, but Walmart by me in Westminster, they sell garlic flavored night crawlers, and they are killer. They work really, really well.
They taste pretty good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do you
You don't get
eat them or do you eat them there?
You get a little hungry.
At the shop there, it's one like today, their night crawler is like $2.35 or so, and they've always been nice. The night crawlers at the rental shop, and they have everything else to rent here if you wanted to, you know, to buy. They have all the power bait, and they have the small motor hooks and all that stuff. Plus, you know, it's not real expensive, but it's a little higher than you're going to pay someplace else.
Rick, I notice your leaders are about 2 to 3 feet. Are the depth of the weeds are 2 feet, 1.5 feet? What are they?
Yeah, I'd say, well, really 3 to 5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I say that floating bubble works so well. And you can use the bigger floating bubble. You know, I wouldn't start going much bigger than this because you kind of, it makes such a big splash sometimes when you're throwing it in there.
Kind of?
Yeah. You know. So I thought going just this little smaller bubble, but you know, the sinking bubbles work really nice because they just say they get stopped on the grass pretty much, and then your bait's right up there. So, I think that's everything that I know. I did have a chance about 3 years ago. I came in 3rd place in this tournament, and 1 year I came in 1st place. I have a little bit.
So you're going to sign up for the other event too?
Yeah, and this is an ongoing event. It started in November, and like, it's a tournament, but it is the most fun, easygoing. Sometimes tournament I get a word kind of scares me, like everybody's professional or something like that. But like the guys, and I love it when there's kids out there. On a normal tournament, we get about 30 adults, maybe 8 or 10 teenagers, and 5 or 6 kids. And you know, I just wish more kids would come out because it's pretty easy to catch fish. I say most of the trout people are just darn nice, you know, tell you what to do. But, you know.
And these are residents, people that live around that lake, all have a permit to do, and they fish in there all the time, just
Yeah,
a spot.
if you live in the city, you've got to be a member of the lake.
What city?
Mission Viejo.
Okay.
So, you know, you can live anywhere in Mission Viejo, unless it's an apartment. But if you own property in the city, you've got to be part of the lake. And
You pay a fee for that then?
it's like $200 a year.
Oh, okay.
And since I fish this all the time, Irvine Lake is, I think, $28 to get in, I think. You know, I mean, it's a killer for me. You know,
$100 now, brother. I mean, at Irvine.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. I mean, you know, you're gonna spend $35 for 5 hours on an electric boat. They'll have cushions for you. They're basically aluminum boats, you know, but they'll have a cushion for you.
This is it a water impoundment for the Metropolitan Water District?
No.
It has no issues with lake levels and none of the above?
It has a natural spring over here somewhere. There's some natural water coming in, and about a third of the water they need to buy. And they said during this last rainstorm that it saved them, what they said, $40,000 worth of water. You know, they consider that rainstorm, they saved $40,000 in the water. But say about 2/3 of it is a spring fed, and a third of it they need to buy the water.
You could swim there, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, in certain areas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is a fishing license required that way?
No fishing license required.
How many rods?
Oh, thanks. It's 1 rod per person, and if you've got 3 people on a boat and 2 of you guys have got your 4-fish limit, then you're fishing with just 1 rod. And, yeah, only 1 rod per person at a time.
Question.
So,
You take 2 or 3.
yeah, I would say 2 or 3 per person if you're gonna be 3 people on a boat. You know, that's, you've got 9 rods. You could get away with, I was pretty quick with that. But, you can do 9 rods, you know, don't bring 4. You know, you can do 2, you can do 1.
We're trout fishing.
Can you go over the cost again? That is including entry, boat rental, and optional.
Okay. Gonna run by the cost. It's gonna cost you $10 at the gate to get in.
$10 entry.
$10 to get into the lake. And that's gonna get you into the lake and a fishing pass.
Okay.
The fishing pass is kind of just a piece of paper about this size.
Okay.
It says to keep it on you, just keep it in your pocket. There'll be a lifeguard coming by to, you know, ask you every now and then. There's no way you can pin it on yourself, or you just have it in your pocket or someplace where you can easily get to it. And they'll ask you for it somewhere throughout the lake. Usually, a lot of times, right in the morning, when you're starting out right here, there'll be a lake compliance officer right out here in his boat, and he'll say, just show me your fishing license. So keep that fishing license. You could, let's say, your boat catches your 4-fish limit at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you want, you can go out, go get lunch someplace. You have your permit, that'll get you back into the lake, okay? That $10 is actually $8 for fishing and $2 entry fee into the premises. So, okay, so you spent $10 to get through the gate. The boats are $7 an hour you're going to be renting it for 5 hours, okay, and then another $7 deposit. Now, if you catch your fish in 2 hours, you're going to go back, they're going to give you a little slip, and they're more likely to be crediting my credit card. They're only going to be charging me for 2 hours of fishing time, say. You understand that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there any minimum?
No, there's no minimum.
Just $7 an hour, $7 deposit,
Yeah.
what you get back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're going to basically think you're going to be fishing for 5 hours, but if you get done in 2 hours, you can go back in and go get yourself a breakfast, and you come back by 11 o'clock with your fish. There's a real nice fish filleting place there, so bring your fish filleting knife. They have a sink in there with 6 different cleaning stations right there to throw all your nuts and fish away, and they have bags there to bag it up. It could be kind of a long day. We start in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and we don't leave till after the barbecue and everything. It might be 2 o'clock. You want to keep your fish kind of fresh, bring some ice with you. You can leave an ice chest in your car, and after you get fishing, after you wade in your fish, you can put them on ice or something like that. So,
Shore fishing?
there is shore fishing. It's a small area, and you don't have to do the boat rental. The shore fishing is right here. There's a dock here, It is maybe 100 yards long, and the dock is 20, 30 feet. But the shore fishing is limited to right here. But you can do that, you don't have to get a boat. And right over here is going to be the way in.
Is the entry fee, activity grandkids or something?
It's per person.
So $10.
Yes. The deepest part of the lake goes about 65 feet. When they first put the lake in, they put in old refrigerators and washers and dryers and all kinds of stuff that tumbles down into it. But this area, right around here, you're around 20 feet. A lot of this is 20 feet. Then
Or those washers and dryers you would fight hard to.
Okay, one question. What was the lake tournament entry fee?
$5.
Okay, thank you.
And you're going to get that.
It's just a mic.
You want me to get them? I was doing some business, so please pay attention.
Just, if you want to join be part of the lake tournament, it's an extra $5. If you don't want to do that, we're going to have our own tournament. We'll weigh our own fish afterwards. And you don't need to bring lunch. You know, you can bring something to eat on the boat, you know. Also, let's see, right over here, there's another beach area over here, and there's 2 docks. You can stop here, and there's restrooms that are open over here. So these restrooms are open. It's a big sandy beach, and you can tie your boat there and use the restroom. Otherwise, the restrooms are up here. So those are the only 2 spots on the lake. And, okay. Well, okay,
Question?
another question?
Yeah.
I said maximum amount of money would be $57 if you got it everything and fished 5 hours.
Well, you're going to be fishing with a couple other people on the boat, so you're going to be dividing that money. You're
Now, it's 4 fish. If you got 3 guys in a boat, you can only catch 4 fish total.
4 fish, 4 trout per person. And you're not allowed any more fish than 4. You can catch 3 crappie and 1 trout, you got to stop fishing.
Oh, 4
If
fish.
4 fish.
Oh, the other guy that has his condos, he pays for the whole boat.
Okay, Rick, if once you're done with the weigh-in, you got your 3 or 4 fish or whatever,
Yeah.
can you rent a boat for a second period and go out and fish again? Say like if you wanted to go fish for bass in the afternoon, can you do that?
Yeah.
Well, you're not supposed to have more than a limited day.
Huh?
A limited day.
A limited day.
Okay, but what if all you're doing is targeting bass? Do they allow that?
Well, you most likely in the morning time have caught your 4 fish limit.
Right.
So you're done for the day.
Oh, really?
Now, if you want to go out and motor around and look, you can.
But
do
you're
that,
not
but
supposed to have a line in the
You're not
water.
supposed to start another stringer, you know, you're not supposed to put 4 fish in your ice chest in your car and go out fishing.
So you can't pay for another limit?
Yeah, right now it's spawning season from March through June, and there can't be fish. But if you want to just catch 2 trout and then go target your bass, you know, you have a decent chance of catching another trout, but you can also target bass if you want to. But you can't have more than 4 fish at any one time. When you have 4 fish, you stop fishing.
And you can't release.
And there's no release of the trout.
Bass, yes.
Trout, bass, yes. But the trout cannot release.
Now, Rick, I know that you probably watch them every morning, so tell us, where do they stock at?
Oh, they stop
Right
right
out
here. It's real simple.
It's the only place that-
This is really the only place they could. It's right where the boat rentals are. You'll see it. It's just where the boat rentals are, and it's people where they launch their own private boats from. But, yeah, they had 4,000 pounds. Let's see, they would have had probably 40,000 pounds of fish this year in the lake since October. So, they seem to get fish out quick sometimes. Sometimes there's like, you have a 1 week of good fishing, the second week is pretty slow sometimes. can't imagine everybody's pulling up 4,000 pounds of fish in a week, but it does slow down a lot.
There's some pretty good fishermen in there.
Next year, if somebody wants to come fish with me, I fish quite a bit. I have a little 2-person boat. Call me, and I'll be glad to take it. But this is kind of coming to the end of the trout season, so. If there's no other questions, we'll do the raffle.
Did everybody get a ticket?
I did.
Okay.